So we're gonna go through some examples. Again, these are word problems. I'm looking, first of all, I'm always thinking triangle, right? I'm always thinking triangle. Before I draw this triangle, I wanna look for either elevation or depression, because that either means looking up or it means looking down. That tells me the difference, and again, I wouldn't draw this just yet. I think about this as being an elevation triangle, and I think about this as being a depression triangle. So I'm always looking for one of those words, and then I just want to draw my triangle. Because I feel like as soon as I get my triangle up there, we're going to be, on the road to sorting it out. So, do we see elevation or depression?
Yes.
Elevation, I've got that word right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw a triangle, almost the bigger the better. That's an elevation triangle where I'm looking up. The rest of it I can fill in. I'm looking for numbers, and I should have two numbers missing a third, because that's how these questions always work. A blimp is flying 500 feet above the ground. Okay, cool, that's one of my numbers. Where are we putting that 500? Is it an angle? Is it the height, the base, or the hypotenuse? I would go with the height. Oh, I gotta change this to black.
What would be 495?
What do you say?
Would it be 495?
So, I like how you're thinking. Let's just go one thing at a time. We got 500 feet. The person sees the blimp at a 25-degree angle. Where does that 25 go? Obviously right here, nobody's stressing that. The person's eye level is 5 feet above the ground. So we should have had two numbers, but now we've got three numbers. And Dory did, he was on something, he said, would it be 495? If the person is looking up at the blimp, you guys know what a blimp is?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but
Good.
that is, I don't know what that is, but that's my best try at making a blimp. I think they normally have like lines like that. I don't know. It's a blimp. I'm doing my best. If the person is looking up, we don't want to measure from the person's foot up because they're seeing from their eyes. So just like Dory said, that 5, we're going to need to take away from the 500 because if the blimp is 500 feet up in the air and the person is, person's eye level is 5 foot tall, maybe that means they're like 5'3" or 5'4" or something, then this blimp is 495 feet above them. And then there's 5 extra feet down here that we don't really care about. What is the horizontal distance between the blimp and the person? Okay, that tells me that we should be looking for the horizontal distance. That's obvious. That's going to be this one down here. Really quick now, give me a SOHCAHTOA. Let's calculate it and be done. I think this is tangent again, opposite, adjacent. Tangent of blank equals fraction blank over blank. What's the angle going with tangent? 5. What's the opposite? 495. Come on. 5. And then what is the adjacent? X. We just took a quiz on this. We know how to solve these. We need to solve for X. How do we solve for X? We multiply it. What ends up happening? They switch. And we get X should be 495 divided by tangent 25, which is equal to 1069.53. So it's 1061.53. Sweet. That is the distance at the bottom. If we want maybe some bonus points, we sneak up feet in there because this is real life. It is the distance in feet. We're just thinking about it, making a triangle, getting our two numbers up there. This time we saw 3 numbers, so we had to do a little bit of some math. Is everybody cool with where that 495 came from? The 500 minus 5. Okay, cool. So we got 3 questions. That's it, right? I'm looking for elevation or depression, then I'm drawing a triangle. I see depression. So I'm gonna draw a triangle upside down that has that depression there. And now I'm gonna look at my numbers. This time I get 120, 23, and I don't get another one. So I shouldn't have to do any of that kind of combination stuff I had to do last time. Boom! The top of a lighthouse is 120 meters above sea level. Okay? The angle of depression from the top of the lighthouse to the ship is 23 degrees. How far is the ship from the foot of the lighthouse? So if I think about my triangle here, it sounds like I'm looking from a lighthouse towards a boat. And I'm looking from the top of a lighthouse what do we think? Is that the best thing you've ever seen in your life?
Yes.
Sheesh. From the top of the lighthouse, we're looking down here at the boat, and you guys have already seen, I'm a bit of a master of drawing boats. I think our picture looks pretty good here. The top of the lighthouse is 120 meters above sea level. So that means that this is 120, but it also means across the triangle that this should also be 120. We're talking meters this question, I guess. The angle of depression is 23. And we want to know how far is the ship from the foot of the lighthouse. Are we going with this top horizontal distance or this diagonal distance? How far is the ship from the foot of the lighthouse? Are the feet of the lighthouse up here? No, the feet of the lighthouse are down here. Right? So we actually want this distance. Is that the diagonal or is that the flat at the top? It's going to be the flat at the top. So this is what we're looking for. Unfortunately, that means we're doing another tangent question. Boring. The tangent of 23 is equal to opposite adjacent 120 over x. We just did one like this. X equals 120 over tangent 23. Let's get some bonus points and put some meters on the end of that question. I'm gonna guess it's around 390. What do we got?
Say 420.
What do we got? You need me to type it in? What am I way off? 280 you said? Oh. 282?
Yeah.
Point what? Man. Oh, they're even close.
I'm gonna get Jack. It's okay.
Yeah, I just gotta keep practicing. Keep training. Alright, we got one more, right?
Yeah.
Come on. I'm gonna give you some time. Why don't you try to draw and label a triangle? This is where all the difficulty comes from. Look for elevation, look for depression. Read it a little bit, look for your numbers. I'll give you guys some time and then I'll work on a masterpiece back here. 100 feet, are you kidding? You good?
So, this will be right in front.
I don't think it's three months. You just heard that.
0 plus,
right,
wait,
right.
I don't think we got that. Did you get 4.4?
No, it's got 48.
48 over 60 because it's about two.
Oh,
Alright, I'm seeing three numbers, 160, 48. That's too many. We gotta either combine some or get rid of some. 160, 48. What, we need two numbers that matter. We getting rid of one of these, what are we doing?
100 is irrelevant.
Yeah.
100 is irrelevant. I agree with you. Who cares how tall they can be? What really matters is this palm tree is 48 feet tall. And it looks like I am lying on a beach. I would love to be lying on a beach. Is 60 feet. This is a new record for sneezes in the classroom. I got a record of it too. I'm gonna send it to Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
What is the angle of elevation from your position to the top of the tree? This time I'm noticing I got double distances. The angle is what I want. What are we doing? Tangent all day today? Who made these questions? The tangent is opposite over adjacent. 48 over 60. How are we gonna get rid of this tangent? It's definitely not dividing. We need to use inverse. X is equal to the inverse tangent of 48 over 60. We go to the calculator. What do we get?
38.66.
38.66.
Shout out Ray Rice.
Are we going with feet or meters or what?
Degree. Oh, yeah.
Nice. Tried to trick you, but he's too good. Degrees, because this is angles we're working with. All right. Application, word problems. We love to say we're bad at these, but in reality, take your time, draw some fun pictures, right? I mean, we're relaxing. These aren't that bad. Last call for questions. Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
Hey.
some trees.